Good morning, class. Are you fine this morning? I hope you are fine. Alright, today the first session we focus on Grammar Galaxy 2, right? And today we continue to do more exercises in our midterm test. On page 84, right? Okay, so now open the book all together on page 84. So how many exercises do you see here? 4, right? D, E, F, and G. Because yesterday we already finished A, B, and C, right? Okay, and today we are going to continue 3 more parts, D, E, and F. For exercise G, you will practice with your homeroom teacher. Okay, so now please focus on exercise D altogether, everyone. D, circle the letter of the correct answer. Okay, so before you do this exercise, I would like you to read some information here with me first. 19. Are there any children in the pool? A. Yes, they are. B. Yes, there are. 20. Do you play the violin? A. No, I don't. B. No, I'm not. 21. Does the show start at 12 o'clock? A. Yes, it do. B. Yes, it does. 22. Will Jane come to the meeting? A. No, she won't. B. No, she isn't. Okay, so after reading some information, maybe you know how to choose the correct answer already, right? Okay, so now I have 30 seconds for you to complete this exercise, then I'll correct for you. Now, do it. Finish, everyone? Good job. Okay, so now let's check the answer all together. 19. Are there any children in the pool? Okay, A. Yes, they are. B. Yes, they are. So if the question starts with are there, so the answer must be there are. So the correct answer, it must be letter B, right? Okay, letter B is the correct answer. If the question starts with is there, so you must answer there is. Okay? If the question starts with are there, so you answer with there are. Okay, so now let's continue to 20. Do you play the violin? A. No, I don't. B. No, I'm not. So the question starts with do, right? So you answer with do too. But if you answer no, don't, okay? No, I don't. So the correct answer, it must be letter A. If the question starts with does she play the violin? No, she doesn't. You cannot say no, she isn't, okay? No, she doesn't. Okay, so now let's continue to number 21. Does the show start at 12 o'clock? Yes, it do. B. Yes, it does. So the correct answer, it used with does, right? So the correct answer, it must be letter B. We cannot use do with it. We cannot say yes, it do. No, yes, it does. Okay, so now let's continue to number 22. Will Jane come to the meeting? A. No, she won't. B. No, she isn't. The question starts with will, right? So you answer with will or won't. So the best answer, it must be letter A, right? Okay, so now we finish exercise D. Let's continue to exercise E altogether. E. Circle the letter of the correct question. Okay, in letter D, you circle the correct answer. Now circle the correct question. 23. A. Are you living now? B. You are living now. 24. A. Does she work in the hospital? B. Does she works in the hospital? 25. A. Does she going to study? B. Is she going to study? 26. A. Will you go there? B. Will you going there? Okay, so now I have 30 seconds for you to complete this exercise and then I'll correct for you. Now, do it. Finish everyone? Good job. Okay, so now let's check the answer all together. 23. Are you living now? And B. You are living now. So the correct form of the question is letter A, right? Verb to be plus subject plus verb IN and G is the form of question. Okay, how about number 24? A. Does she work in the hospital? And one more, does she works in the hospital? So the correct answer it must be letter A, right? Why? Because when you use does, the other verb you need to use base form of verb, like the verb work. You cannot add s, es, or is here, right? Okay, number 25. A. Does she going to study? B. Is she going to study? Okay, like I told you just now, right? When you use that, you need to use with base form of verb. You cannot add s, es, or ing or something else, right? Just use the simple verb. So the correct answer it must be letter B. Okay, because here does she going? No, cannot add ing. Okay. All right. So now let's continue to 26. A. Will you go there? B. Will you go in there? So the form with model verb will, you need to use will plus subject plus base form of verb, right? Or the simple verb. Here you cannot add s, es, or ing or ed or something else, right? Just use the simple verb. So the correct answer it must be letter A. Okay, so now we finish exercise D and exercise E. So now let's continue to our last exercise F. But you have one more exercise, right? Exercise G. So exercise G you will practice with your homeroom teacher. Okay, so now let's continue to exercise F. F, choose the answer that can replace the underlined mistake. Okay, so you see the underlying mistake, so you have to choose one that can replace this mistake, okay? 27, these pictures aren't mine, they are his, okay? So which is the correct answer that you should use to replace here? 28, Jake is wanting some fruit. 29, she won't going to clean the room. 30. There is many milk in the bottle. Okay, so try to look at the underlined word and then choose one of word in A, B, or C to replace the mistake here. Okay. Now you have 30 seconds to do this exercise and then I'll correct for you. Now do it. Finish everyone? Good job. Okay, so now let's check the answer all together. Okay, 27. These pictures are mine. They are his, right? So his, the correct answer is letter C. This one we use possessive pronoun, right? Okay, so now let's continue to number 28. Jake is wanting, yeah, some fruit, right? Okay, so A wants, B wanting, and C is wants. So the correct answer it must be letter A, wants. Simple sentence. This one you cannot add ing, right? Okay, so now let's continue to number 29. She won't going to clean the room. A, not. B, isn't. C, doesn't. So the correct answer it must be letter B, right? Okay, isn't, verb to be plus verb in, and here you see the verb after want, so going. So here you must use verb to be, isn't. Okay, so now let's continue to number 30. There is many meal in the bottle. Okay, A, a lot. B, a lot of. C, very. So the correct answer it must be letter B, right? A lot of. Okay, a lot of. Meal is uncountable noun, so uncountable noun we can use with much or a lot of, but we cannot use with many. Okay. Alright, so now we finish our first session, and I hope you can understand all of this exercise and you can use them very well and prepare yourself for the final exam, okay? For the monthly exam and final exam. So it will come soon, right? Okay, so now we finish our first session and see you in the second session.